For the cheapest Madden coins available, check out my sponsor One Stop Mutt to start building that God Squad you've always wanted today. Use code WAZ to get 15% off your order. What is going on, guys? Wizard of Waz here with another Madden 21 video, and today I am bringing you the first really good coin method of the year. This is a very good one. It's not any just like go sniping, which sniping is a very good coin method, but I know a lot of people don't really consider it a method, so this is an actual method where you go and you get some training, you rip some packs, you put them into sets, and you work the market in your favor so that you will almost never lose coins on this. I do use the word almost because just with every method, pretty much, there is a little bit of inherent risk. Before we get into the actual method, I want to give a big shout out to Fendler. If you don't know Fendler, you should by now. He's a really big Twitch streamer. He's about to hit partner, and he's just starting up on YouTube, so I'm going to put his links and stuff down below in the description. Go give him a follow on Twitch and subscribe to him on YouTube, because I saw him doing this method before anyone else, and then it got tweaked a little bit yesterday, and it's still a very good method. And basically the two methods, what he had at first and what he tweaked it to, I think it's going to kind of oscillate between the two of those, like for the next couple of days, depending on what the market is doing. And we're going to talk about all that, and I kind of have this video divided up into two parts. The first part is going to be just simply straight up the method. I'm not going to explain the numbers too much. If you just want to see the method and that's it and not understand it, then this first part of the video is for you. And the second part, we're going to go over all the numbers and everything so that you can really understand the market while you have a very low chance of losing coins. And honestly, guys, if you want to do well with coin methods throughout the year, you need to stay for the second part, because it will help you understand the market. And when I do these coin method videos in the future, I want to really be full transparency with you guys and explain to you. I really want to break it down and explain to y'all why it works the way it does and why it's not just some glitchy bullcrap that like EA messed up and put in the game. So let's go ahead and get into the method here. I wasn't recording when I started this out. Basically, the first thing you're going to do is buy a card for training. You'll see on the screen behind me, I bought a 90 for, what was it, 261,000 coins, which quick sells for 5,000 training points, and that equals about 52.2 CPT coins per training point. So that's actually not bad. You can, if you wait around, if you're patient, I was just doing it for this video, you could probably get down into 45 depending on the time of day. I am going to link the spreadsheet that I use down below that I fill in with numbers if you want to see what the best snipes is, and I put the time that I updated and all that. Midnight Hayabusa updates that as well, so go check that out down below, and you can see the best CPT, the best bang for your buck when you're looking for training. But essentially, you want to get really cheap training, and for the purpose of my video, I went ahead and purchased a 90, and I started out with 5,000 training. Now, I'm not going to run through all the packs with you because it's just a waste of time, but essentially what you do with all your training, it's very simple. There's a single pack. You go and you just rip this one here, the 76 to 78 overall superstar for 60 training points. So you get anywhere from a 76 to a 78. Essentially, what you want from this is a 77 or a 78. A 76 isn't necessarily a loss, but you want about 50-50. You want about half 77 and 78s and half 76s. If you don't get any 76s, that's fine, but you don't want to have all 76s. If you have way too many 76s, that's how you're potentially going to lose coins. If you have a couple of more 76s than 77s and 78s, it's fine. But generally, you want to have more 77s and 78s. And so if you do go the same route as I do and you get a 90, then you're going to be able to roll this 83 times. Okay, it's a lot. It took me maybe 15 to 20 minutes to roll all of them, so it does take a little bit of time, but it's not awful. For those of y'all that played Madden 20 and did the Night Train Lane method, that's nothing. Night Train Lane method was a phenomenal method, but it took hours and hours. It was ridiculous. So the first thing that you're going to do once you've rolled everything is go over to the Superstar MVP sets here. You go all the way down to the bottom, not all the way down, the 80 to 82 Elite Superstar MVP exchange. So you're going to put all of your 76s in here, okay? Your 77s and 78s do not put in this set. Only your 76s. So you're going to put every 76 that you have in this set. The other ones, the 77s and the 78s, are going to go into this, the Team Builder set. Now, if y'all didn't know, the Team Builder set, it does say Nat Fantasy Pack. It's not Nat. I don't know why it says that. You can auction this. It says it there right now, but people have done this multiple times. It's just a typo. It's just a misprint or whatever by EA, but you can actually auction this, no problem. So if you go in here, what you're essentially doing is you're putting all of your 77s and 78s in these 6 slots, and then those 76s that you used in the previous set, you're going to put in right here. So you're going to put it in these 2 Elite slots, and then your 6 77s or 78s up in here, and you're going to build these team builders. Now, a lot of y'all might know this method already, but there's a couple of different variations. So this is the variation that's working right now as I record this. The other variation that we're going to talk about a little bit later in the video, not right now, it's not the one to do right now, is instead of taking the 80 to 82s that you get out of this set and putting them into the team builder set, you're going to put them into these sets. You're going to put them into the Mike McGlinchey or the Preston Smith, and then you're going to sell these guys. The reason that this would be a good method, just really quick, quickly is basically if you can snipe the 80s that you need for the other set, for the team builder set, at a low price. If the market's inflated, then this is not going to be the way to go. If the market's inflated, you're essentially building those 80 to 82s that go in the team builder set for a lot cheaper via this method right here. So you can build those 80 to 82s with just 576 to 78. So it's a lot cheaper if the market's inflated. So we'll have to take a look at the market before we start this and kind of see which is the way to go. But right now, we're talking about the first one I was talking about, where you're putting everything into the team builder set. So I did open up my Good Morning Madden pack, but you can see all the cards that I got out of this training reroll, and I'm about to go throw all of them into those sets. Now, instead of doing this as you pull them, you can just do the little add to set thing. I didn't do it this time, but usually that's a smarter way to do. But let me go and throw all of these into sets, and we'll see how many of the team builders I can make. Again, very good method, and then we'll go over all the numbers and break it down and go over why it's such a good method. All right, so we're done putting all of our cards into the sets. You can see here that we completed 5 of the 84 overall team builder fantasy packs and all that good stuff. And if you didn't know, if you haven't completed any of these, you can pick any of the team builders, and that's really important to this method. We were actually about halfway done completing the 6, so I had about mid-range pack luck. Probably worst case scenario, you'd make about 4 where you'd be breaking even, and then 5 is I'm going to make a little bit of coins off this. It won't be crazy, but it's still like 20 or 30,000 for about 30 minutes work, so not too bad. So at the time of me recording this and at the market, everything, the highest team builders, again, you can pick whichever ones you want. So what you want to do is you want to go on the auction house and find out which ones are selling for the most. Now, it is a little annoying to find which ones are selling for the most, just because you can't just go to the max, because people put these things up for like 1,000,000 coins and it's dumb. But you can see the cheapest ones here are selling for 51, 52, 54. You go a little bit further down, they're 58, 59. You could definitely go and look. What I like to do is go on Muthead and get an idea of the most valuable ones, and then go and check them. Like this Gary Conley here, let's check him. If his lowest there is that 59,000, then that would be a good one, because that's about 60,000 coins. This is just kind of how you're going to go and look and find the cheapest one. So 59,000 coins is not bad. So you're going to get about 54,000 coins if you did all these Gary Conleys. Now, I wouldn't recommend, if you have 7 or 8 or 10 or whatever of these team builder packs, that you open all of the same one, because you're going to flood the market with that one. So open multiple different ones. You'll be able to find several that are all around the 60K mark, or if the market is a little down, 55K. If the market's down, you should be spending less on your initial investment. Like I spent 261,000 on the 90. If these guys are going for a little bit less, you should be looking to spend more like 220,000 or so to make sure you're still profiting. But again, we're going to go over all that in the numbers section. So assuming that I sell all these guys for around 59,000, and again, I had 5 of them after tax, that's about 54. So then that's 270,000 after tax that I get for all of them, and I spent 261,000 on top of that. Now, I did have an extra 81 with a couple of 76s as well, so that gives me another like 12 or 15 grand. So you add that on, that's about 285,000 that I'm getting from this, and I spent 261,000 on my initial investment. So that's not bad at all. That's a 24,000 coin profit with, average pack luck. Again, the best you would be able to do is build 7 of these team builders. So you add on another 54, and then a little bit more than that, a little bit more than 54. So you're actually profiting like 70,000 best case scenario. But that's pretty much just the method for just you guys that wanted the base method. Very simple. It takes maybe 25 to 30 minutes to run through it the whole time. The only way that you're going to lose is, one, if you're not paying attention to the market and you're buying, you're trading way too high. Like again, if these guys are only selling for 50,000 coins, you shouldn't be spending what I just spent on my 90, 261,000. That's going to be too much. You don't want to do that. So pay attention to the market. Go and look at all the prices and everything before you give this a go. The only other way that you're going to lose coins off of this is if you get incredibly unlucky with your, 83 rerolls, and you get all 76s, which is almost 100% not going to happen. There is a slight chance that you roll like 80% 76s, and then you lose a little bit, but it's not a whole lot. You'll be down like 20 or 30,000 coins. Very unlikely to happen. Also, with 83 packs, you're more than likely going to have some pretty good pack luck. Like I said, this was just average pack luck, and I'm still on top by nearly 25,000 coins. Alright guys, so this is actually the really most important part of the video, because we're going to go and break down all the numbers and everything. Now, there's a lot of crap on this page, but it's actually really simple, and I'm going to do this with a lot of my... If y'all like this, let me know down in the comments below if you really like understanding why and how these things work, because if you can understand this, the way to get good at this stuff is to figure it out before everybody else, before a big streamer, a big YouTuber, or anybody else goes and puts the method out there, because once it's out there, a lot of people are going to be doing it. It's not going to be as profitable. So the way to do well with these is to figure this out before anybody else and do it. So if you really understand how the market works by looking at something like this, that can help. So basically, we have some stuff up here, and I got all these numbers maybe 4 hours ago, so some of these are not accurate to me at the time of buying. Like right here, I basically a 90 at the time was 227,000 coins. We're gonna roll with these numbers because I went ahead and put them in. This was about 5 in the afternoon on Monday, just so y'all know. But basically up here in the blue, we have all of the rerolls, all the sets and everything, what they take. Let me stretch this out just a bit. I don't know why I put this over here. Let's move this over. So that's I'm gonna give you all a link to this down below. I'm going to delete that. I'll clean it up a little bit before I link it. But basically, these are all the sets and the rerolls and everything. And then these were the market values at the time of me making the spreadsheet. And then we have down here our chaotic calculations. Okay, so at the time I was able to get some CPT at 45.5. Not bad, because when I actually did the method just a minute ago, it was 52. So 45 is much better. And just so y'all know, at 45.5 CPT, which again is coins per training value, at 60 training points to re-roll, to get 5 of these, which is what you need to make an 80 to 82, it is 13,000 coins. So that's what you're paying. And if you go and look up here, an 80 overall MVP, which is the minimum of what you're getting from this set, is 15K. And then you get an 82, and that's 17K. So what you could do, if you're able to get 45 CPT, just as a little separate, this isn't as good of a coin method, but it will work. If you're able to get this low of CPT and 80s and 82s are selling for this high, you're only spending 13,650 coins on this set. And even if you get an 82, you're still pretty much breaking even. You're losing 150 coins, so it's not that bad. And then if you get an 81 or an 82, it goes a little bit higher. But we don't want to do that. That's a little mini method for y'all if y'all want to do that. Now we actually have here in the middle, this was basically the first method, not the one we talked about, but this was if you wanted to go and complete the 85 and the 86 MVPs. And it actually comes out to the way the market was right now. They're both equivalent. Whichever one you would want to complete, you're going to make the same amount of coins off of. Again, this is something you want to go look at the market and make sure you understand before you go and do it. But if you wanted to go and complete the 85s and the 86s, this is something I would only recommend if the market's down. The reason for that is, remember the set that we were building the 80s and 82s MVPs from? All of the 76s go into there. Don't put your 77 and 78s into that set ever, okay? Put the 77 and the 78s into the team builder set. But the only reason you're going to do that is if the market is down and you can snipe 80s to go in that team builder set for cheap. If you can't snipe them for cheap, then you want to just use the 80 MVPs that you're getting by putting the 76s into, where is it? This set right here. I don't know what I was doing up here, but basically you put 5 76s. You can do 76, 77, or 78s into a set and get an 82 and 82, which I saw earlier in the video. But basically just put the 76s in there and use your 77 and 78s in the team builder set. But you really want to only build these 85 and 86 MVPs if the market is tanked, and you can snipe those 80s for cheap. Otherwise, stick to this second method. And then I did break down here, if you did want to complete the 89s, what you do have to account for if you complete the 89s is you do get 2 of the 86s back as nats. You obviously want to pick the 86s if you're doing this for coins, because then you can quick sell them for training. But generally speaking, that's not going to be the best method. The only reason I would do that is if you wanted to get one of the 89s for cheap, then it's pretty good. But if you're just trying to make coins, then stick to building the 85s or the 86s, or just straight up building the team builders. But what I really want to look at is over here on the right side, this far right one, and this is basically what we just walked through with the coin method here. And sorry if I'm sweating, it's friggin' hot in here. But anyway, we'll walk through the steps really quick. Again, this was with numbers that I had earlier from the market, so these might be different when you look at it. But I bought a 90 overall in this hypothetical scenario for 227,500 coins and quick sell it for 5,000 training points, and then you re-roll that 83 times. Out of those 83 rolls, you get either 76, 77s, or 78s. Then you're going to complete the 80 to 82 overall set about 8 times. So you're going to put 40 76s in here to get 8 80 to 82 overalls. So you complete that set 8 times, and then you have 43 left over. And then with the 43 you have left over, you're going to put them into the team builder set 4 times. You're going to be able to complete the team builder set 4 times with this draw luck, and that's because you completed 8 of the 80 to 82s. You need 2 of them for each set, so you can do it a max of 4 times with that many 80 to 82s, and then you put the rest of the 77s in there, and then you have 24 left over. This 24, 76, 77s, or 78s, doesn't matter. We'll take that in a minute. So then you're going to sell those 4 team builders for roughly 60K, again based off the market I had at the time. After that 10% tax, you always make sure you account for that. You have 226,000 plus the 3. You can make 3 80 to 82 overalls. That should be 80 to 82 for about 15,000 a pop. Now, where are you making these 80 to 82s from? It's from the 24 left over that you had. So the problem with the 24 left over, you can't quite build another team builder, because to build a team builder, you have to build 2 80 to 82s, which takes 10 of these cards, whether they're 76, 77s, or 78s, it doesn't matter. And then it takes another 6. So you're 2 cards short of building another team builder. So you might, if you have a couple of Nats laying around, don't forget Nats can go into sets. So maybe you can make a 5th one there and then just sell all those for 60,000, making even 270,000. But if not, you can just make the 80 to 82s as much as you can. You can make 3 of them and then sell them off and after tax, which is 45K. So in this scenario that I ran during this market, you spent 227,000 on the 90, quick sold it for 5,000 training points, and you made 271,000 coins. Now this is with like medium luck, pack luck. It's not the best in the world, but it's pretty good. It's enough to complete all the sets. You can see here, you've got these 24 left over, so you actually have a pretty good amount of leeway. You don't have to get a ton of 77s and 78s versus the 76s because you have 24 left over that can be any of them. So if you're pulling a lot of 76s, don't worry about it as long as you are pulling some 77s and 78s. But yeah, guys, that is about it for my explanation on this coin method and why it works. And again, this is what you should do if the market's a little bit inflated and the 80s to 81s specifically are a little bit higher. Build them with that MVP set rather than going and sniping them. If the market's a little bit lower, then you can go snipe the 80 to 81s, still build the team builders with those snipes that you're getting off the auction house, and then go and complete these 85 and 86s and sell them. It just kind of depends on the market. Now I am going to clean up this spreadsheet. I'm going to make sure it's linked down below in the description, so go check it out if you want to. If you want to mess around with it, you can save a copy of it. Obviously I can't let people edit it on the internet, or who knows what will happen, but if you want to, you can save a copy and edit it yourself, so feel free to do that. And again, huge shout out to Fendler because he was the first one I saw doing this and adding the variations and all that stuff. So again, go check out his Twitch and YouTube. Big thanks to him for figuring this out. And of course, guys, don't forget to subscribe, like the video if this one did help you out. We're gonna have a lot of coin methods coming out soon. There's not a lot of content on the market right now, so we don't have a whole lot to work with, but once that starts rolling out, there's gonna be a lot of coin methods. There's gonna be some that are better than others, but I'm gonna do my best to get them to y'all as quickly as possible. So make sure you do have that bell icon hit so you can know as soon as my videos come out. But anyway, thank y'all so much for watching. I hope y'all enjoyed that one, and as always, I will see y'all in the next one.